Good morning. Welcome to today's ceremony, and thank you for attending. I'm honored to be speaking with you today on such an important occasion. We're here today to honor our service members who have lost their lives throughout our history and to remember the sacrifices they have made in the cause of duty, honor, and country. However, those who have died over the last nearly 250 years for the freedom we enjoy deserve that we not neglect their ultimate sacrifice, because we may be distracted and taken back by the times we live in, no matter how challenging they may be. In the end, any who are available to participate and listen this morning are fortunate by being able to honor those who have gone before. At the same time, we must also sadly recognize and include in today's remembrance those innocent souls who perished in Texas last week, Buffalo the week before, as well as the others throughout this nation who perish weekly due to senseless violence. Let us take a moment to recall them as well. I am privileged to be speaking with you today on this important occasion. Our order of proceeding shall be to enjoy the playing of the national anthem in America, brief remarks from myself and our distinguished guest, former United States Marine, Mr. Larry Morrow, followed by a performance of the songs of our service branches, the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. At the conclusion of the ceremony, please rise and stay in place for the raising of the flag, withdrawal of the color guard, and the playing of taps. We welcome here with us Mr. Larry Morrow, Police Chief Carl Dietz, Fire Chief John Frazier, our Pepper Pike Police Honor Guard led by Chief Dietz, who is joined by Patrolman Jim Farrar and Parker Sword. We also welcome Brendan Duval, Director of Bands, Orange High School, Assistant Director Jake Robinson, the members of the Orange High School Marching Band and the Lionettes, all of whom have taken the time to especially prepare for today and to be with us. Ari Rubin, Rising Orange Senior, Class of 2023, will honor the occasion with the playing of taps. Most importantly, we acknowledge the veterans, family, and friends who are with us today, especially those who have lost loved ones while serving in our nation's military and who come here today to honor them and to remember. I would ask any who have served, have members who we are commemorating today, to please rise. We will now enjoy the playing of the national anthem and America. Feel free to join in and to sing along. Thank you, band. Wonderful job. The service members we honor today came from all walks of life, but they shared several fundamental qualities. They possessed courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity, all the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved to fight. They were called to be part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect a nation which has given them, us, so much. We must always remember that we are joined together in an ongoing experiment of democracy. Those we commemorate today died so that this experiment in democracy could endure. The outcome of our experiment has never been certain, as we are reminded by our times. Sometimes success requires people of good faith to simply work together to succeed. Our nation must never be about divisive and hateful rhetoric. It is not about political party or stoking of fears or class rivalry or resentment. Our democracy, our nation, is today challenged from within and without. The fight of those we honor today continues. From the soldiers who shivered and starved through the winter at Valley Forge, to the doughboys crouched in the muddy trenches of France, to the platoon who patrolled the jungles of Okinawa or Vietnam, or the mountains of Afghanistan. We remember and honor them all. We today also honor the sacrifice of the Ukrainian people who fight not only for their own freedom, but in the end for ours as well. Those we commemorate today died so that we could see this country succeed in its mission as a beacon for ourselves, our children, and the rest of the world. Please remember, what you say matters. What you do matters. Never be afraid to be bold in defending our nation and its values from those who seek to do it harm, from without or within. We can and must be engaged to shape the future for our children and grandchildren. We remember the immortal words spoken by our great president, Abraham Lincoln, when he said, "It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that these honored dead we take increased devotion from, to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth." Your presence here today, and that of the people gathering all across America, is a tribute to those lost troops and to their families. It is a way to say, we remember. Larry Morrow is one of the best known and respected personalities in Ohio. Proclaimed in 1979 by Mayor Voinovich as Mr. Cleveland, he has long served as the welcoming voice of our region. It was Larry charged to introduce Presidents Carter, Reagan, Bush, and Clinton when they came to Cleveland. Renowned for his upbeat personality and gentle good humor, Mr. Morrow came to Cleveland from Detroit in 1966 to join the innovative rock and roll radio station Wixie 1260. You can all in your minds now be singing Wixie 1260. He later hosted morning shows on 3WE, WERE, WQAL, and Sirius Satellite Radio. Larry continues to make more than 100 appearances every year, many of them for charity, and lectures to colleges, high school students, and high-level businesses, healthcare institutions on effective communication. Larry's many years in broadcasting have earned him numerous awards, far too many to mention here, but including the National Radio Hall of Fame Award, the National Abe Lincoln Award, the Cleveland Community Service Award, given by his peers, which is the highest award radio can give. He has been named Cleveland's most popular radio and television personality, and he works with over 150 charities here in Cleveland. Before all that, however, Larry spent 3 years on active duty in the United States Marine Corps. He was later called upon by our government to partake on a special mission for the Pentagon, traveling to Vietnam in 1969 at the height of the war. He also brought back home for the holidays interviews of Cleveland area boys. Larry has long been recognized a champion of our armed forces, being asked to give the keynote address, for example, at Cleveland's City Hall Rotunda for the celebration of Veterans Day and the Marine Corps birthday. Identifying what he felt was a lack of leadership skills and effective communications among those he dealt with, Larry left radio and has gone into teaching. Larry is now an adjunct professor at John Carroll University, where he teaches a class in executive leadership for the school's MBA program, which has allowed him to share his vision of leadership with his students. Larry has been married to Rosemary Morrow for 49 years. Your 3 children, Diana, Donna, and Cynthia, all live in Chagrin Falls. I look forward to his comments this morning. Please welcome Larry Morrow.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be here. Richard, when he asked me to come and do this today, I said, what would you like me to do? He says, you're in charge of the weather. So look at this. Here I am. Before I start, I want to recognize a friend who is here today, who is a former mayor of Pepper Pike, a dear, close friend who I love with all of my heart. His name is Bruce Akers. Bruce, where are you? There he is. The warmest of welcomes to each and every one of you who have come out here today. We're delighted to have you here on this very wonderful day, Memorial Day. Mayor Richard Baines, Pepper Pike department heads, Pepper Pike staff, and residents of the great city of Pepper Pike. We are here today because we love America and everything that we hope it to be. Today, as you well know, is Memorial Day. It is the day that we pay homage to all those who have served in the military and didn't come home. This is not Veterans Day. It is not a celebration. Today is a day of solemn contemplation over the cost of our freedom, and we are here today because we love America and everything we hope it to be and everything that we long it to be. This was mentioned earlier, but one of the most rewarding times of my life was serving in the military, both here in Vietnam. Those of you who are currently serving, who have served, or have a family member who have served, you were asked to stand earlier. For that, thank you so very much. We owe our freedom and our security to all of you and your commitment to duty, honor, and country. And by the way, welcome home. I want you to know something. We will never, ever forget you. When I graduated from high school, I enlisted immediately in the Marine Corps. My dad was a Navy Seabee in World War II and spent 2 years away from home. My older brother Jim went in the Navy. My 2 younger brothers followed me in the Marine Corps. Boot camp in the Marine Corps changed my life. I suddenly realized that my religious background and my social status meant absolutely nothing. What I learned quickly was the only thing that mattered now was serving my country. At times, the physical and mental tasks were difficult. Jumping off a 40-foot tower with 20 pounds of gear on into a pool that looked like from 40 feet a cup of water. And in that pool was another Marine who was drowning. And my goal was to jump off that tower, save him, and save the 2 of us. The most important part of that and the best part of that mission was it took the 2 of us to reach our goal. It didn't matter the color of his skin, his ethnic background, and the only thing that mattered was the size of his heart. That being a Marine wasn't about medals nor stripes on my sleeve. I learned very quickly, there are no heroes here, only those who are willing to serve, willing to sacrifice, and asking absolutely nothing in return. Before I joined the Marines, Memorial Day was just another day of vacation, barbecues, ball games, a trip to the lake with the family, similar to what millions will be doing today with no knowledge of why we call it Memorial Day. Well, those things are nice, so many wonderful family members getting together, but there are graves all over America we all remember with great sadness. It was November 13th of 1982 that my bride Rosa and I wanted to be in Washington for the opening of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. I remember distinctly touching a few of the names that I had spoken to who didn't make it back, which, as you can imagine, brought me to my knees. There was then, and still to this day, a measure of grief that I will absolutely never forget. We also visited the tomb of the unknown soldier, and before leaving, we sat in front of the thousands of crosses of the men and women who gave their lives for all of us. And I am mindful of President Reagan's quote when referring to our veterans: "There is nothing nobler than risking your life for our country." In Cleveland today, and all over America, a band of noble heroes lay in cemeteries. Along the way, they made a commitment that said, "Whatever I can do for my country, I am willing to do." They died for a cause they believed in, which to them was greater than life. They are heroes who gave their life bigger than oneself. We will, before this day is out, remember our moms, our dads, our brothers, our sisters, members, close friends who have served. And at some point during this day, we will stand in silence and think of them. We will think of these brave men and women who will be remembered for loving and serving America. And as long as our Creator gives life to America, we will continue to live in the land of the free and the home of the brave, to all of these incredible men and women who have served their country, so that we could continue to live, work, play, and raise our families in the greatest country in the world. There are thoughts from many hearts this morning and a somber reflection for those of you who have lost loved ones. I want you to know that we all share in your sorrow and your headache. And as General Douglas MacArthur said to his West Point cadets, "The American soldier needs no eulogy from me or from other men. He has written his own history and has written it in red on his enemy's breast. But when I think of his patience under adversity, his courage under fire, and his modesty in victory, I am filled with emotion that I cannot put into words. In 20 campaigns, on 100 battlefields, around 1,000 campfires, I have witnessed that enduring fortitude. You stand as our nation's war guardian and its lifeguard from the raging tides of international conflict, and its gladiator in the arena of battle. The long gray lines had never failed us. Were you to do so, 1,000,000 ghosts in olive drab, in brown khaki, in blue and gray, would rise from their white crosses, thundering those magic words: duty, honor, country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Larry Morrow, for bringing home to us and reminding us that Memorial Day is about a memorial service. We are here for those who gave their lives, and thank you very much. We will now listen to a performance of the marches of the service divisions: Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. The Orange High School Band. Thank you, band. Magnificent. I would be remiss before we conclude if also I did not thank the members of our Pepper Pike Service Department. They are the ones who turned out early this morning to set this up for all of us. They're the ones who will remain after we are gone to break it all down. They are taking from their holiday to be with us today. And thank you, those members of our service. Please now rise for the raising of the flag and playing of taps, followed by the firing of the report in remembrance of all who have fallen. Thank you all for attending, and have a wonderful Memorial Day with your families.